you'd had your boat hooked up here and loaded, ready
This
to
is
go
true.
as soon as the meeting was over.
That's true too.
Okay, so don't blame it all on Frank.
Can I blame half of it on Frank?
You can blame it all on me, Danny.
Oh, see? You're scapegoat. You're good.
Yeah,
You got any bait? We'll go after the meeting.
sure.
Got the
There
bait?
you go.
Meeting over.
Richard and Jeff, huh? Richard was gonna be here.
Did he know we had a meeting?
He did. Both of them did.
Who we missing?
Richard and Jeff.
Okay.
Gonna start finding people for not showing up to these committee meetings.
We screwed that all up.
Yeah.
Well, it is 6 o'clock, so seeing we have 2 committees here and 2 committee chairs, I'll just take the meeting. How's that? That be all right with you?
I turn my chair over to Frank.
All in favor, say aye.
Say aye.
Oh, there he is.
Aye.
Thank you, Richard. So what we've got tonight is a presentation from Kishwaukee Water Reclamation.
Okay.
And Mark's gonna go second because I think it's gonna take him a little longer maybe. And the other 2 fellows are here from Solar on Earth for a presentation they got to go through, so we'll get going and try to get through it. Marcus, right?
Yeah.
Marcus?
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Talk to us about Solar on Earth.
Sure, absolutely. So, Solar on Earth is a community solar company based out in Chadwick, Illinois. What we do is we connect
What was
businesses.
the town?
Chadwick,
Chadwick.
mm-hmm.
Never heard of it.
Mount Carroll, Carroll County.
Okay.
We're out over there. So basically what we're doing is we're attaching villages, cities, and businesses to what's called a community solar farm. State-funded program where it's a no upfront cost program, because what we are doing is utilizing the tax rebate attached to this program called the Energy Efficiency Programs tax that you're paying every month to your comment bill. So we currently have the village of LaSalle participating in this program. All we're looking to do, like I said, is attach you to a community solar farm in the area. You currently pay a small portion to this farm already to help develop and build these farms. It's called the Illinois Shines Program. It was passed back in 2017, and they've been utilizing this since 2020. They've been building these farms. So currently, like I said, we have the village of LaSalle utilizing this. We have the city of Pekin who uses this. I just spoke to the Marengo School District. I know that they're utilizing this program. I spoke at Riley School last week, and I'm also speaking at the village of Capron tomorrow as well. And it's a very simple program. We just attach your account number to the farm. The farm produces energy. All that energy that is produced is then bought by ComEd. ComEd gives you well, not ComEd. ComEd purchases the energy. The farm, who owns this energy, credits you based on what that energy is worth. And you can see that on a month-to-month basis on your bill, showing what farm you're on, what the generation was, what that rate that they charged ComEd for, and then what it earned you. And right now we're working with farms that are giving out between 10 to 15% discounts. And that's every month. So every month your bill would go down between 10 to 15%, depending on what you qualify for. So this is what we do is we send in your bills to the developers. The developers see what you're spending and see what they can put you on. Because we work with, as you see through there, McDonald's uses this program, Wendy's uses this program, Walmart uses this. They have $1 million lawyers that vet things like this. So I'd like to say, if you see those guys doing this, and there's a safe bet that it's a safe program to use. And again, this has been funded by you and the state for the last 7 years. So they're just looking for people to participate in it. So far, it's been going really well for the people utilizing it. I work with over 200 different businesses between here and Rockford. Rockford is kind of my home base. But I have worked down in Peoria. I worked down in Mount Carroll, Carroll County. I've worked all over the state, essentially, helping businesses, towns, hospitals, and universities utilize this program. So Any questions that you guys might have?
Yes.
Yes.
You subscribe to a certain number of kilowatt hours, right?
Right, so we look at your bill, we look at the annual usage, and then they determine, they're gonna allocate you at 93% of what your total usage is. These farms are very efficient in how they gather the energy, they follow the sun even through the clouds, so we had an issue where we were allocating at 100% and people were getting too many credits, so we would have to shut down some of their production while it caught up. So what we've done is we've fine-tuned that number after years of the program being active in this state to that 93%. So if you're spending $100 a month, we're gonna cover $93. You'll still pay ComEd $7, and then the $93 is covered at a 15% discount. Does that make sense?
Right. So we are literally subscribing to specific solar panels?
Yeah, on a farm. Yep, so, and again, this is funded by the state of Illinois, by you, it's governed by the Illinois Power Agency and the US Department of Energy. So it's not my company saying, hey, we have farms for you to use. It's the state saying, we have this program called Illinois Shines Community Solar. If you'd like to use it, you can utilize it, and it will reduce your cost because their goal is to obviously lower their carbon emissions. So in order to do that, they fund programs like this. They want to be able to state that a majority of their energy is renewable in the state line. 54% of what we use around here, or at least where I'm from, is nuclear power. So they're trying to kind of even that number out because that power plant's been going strong for over 50 years, and there have been talks of it potentially shutting down to fix some of the cracks, the leaks there. So this is another way to just kind of mitigate that cost as well. It's keeping our overall cost of the state lower because we're not having to buy out of state. And their goal is to get to at least 50% renewable energy in the state by 2027. And so there's a huge push right now to build these farms. A lot of them are actually being built in southern Illinois. So like I said, in the Peoria area, the first big round was for ComEd's area. So if you go to, I'm sure you guys have seen solar farms potentially out in this area, but where I'm from, they're like all over the place, you know, and right in neighborhoods. They don't just use farmland; they use junkyards that are you know, they can go above all the trash, and they use those. So it's not just farmland that they're utilizing for this program. They look at every avenue to try to fit this in because the biggest problem is an infrastructure problem. You know, we can build farms all day, but if we don't have the power, the grid to sustain it, then there's no purpose. So right now they just built a lot of infrastructure for this program, and so we're trying to fill it as quickly as we can, and I'm sure there will be a lull in the next year or two while they're building up that infrastructure some more to fit more power onto the grid that we ourselves are producing and not getting from out of state.
Are you making a specific offer to the village Shabbona?
So what we have is a 15% discount for you guys, and that's what that, if you look in there for the savings graph, I believe it's on page 8, you'll see that we're looking to save you guys around $4,200 a year. I don't believe your lighting is metered, so we can't get the lighting for the village onto the program, unfortunately, unless there is a meter number for it.
Some of it is
Some
metered.
of it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can get the bills that have meters on them, because I think
I thought I gave them all.
you
paid.
gave all, okay, so there are some of those that are lights then. Okay, so there was one bill that was, nope, so, might have been before that. That's that one right there. Yours might even be missing it. Some of these are. I'd be happy with this actually. There you go. So yeah, that's the same, and that's over, this is how long they're offering the program to you. It's a state-funded program. They're looking for people who are trying to utilize this for a long time. These panels are slated to be used efficiently for at least 2 decades. After that, their efficiency does go down, it degrades. So what they're offering there is guaranteed due to what they know. They even have degradation calculated into that for you, so you can see what your potential savings will be.
So are we guaranteed the percentage straight across the board, even though if there's lull in production?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're getting 15% off of whatever you produce. So again, if you're,
Whatever, give us like 25 to get us caught up for being the lag of you not being here sooner?
No, no, I can't.
Can you give us higher rates or no?
So 15% is the highest discount we have available right now. It was 20% for just the supply when this program was rolled out in 2020. And last year, they changed the regulations to allow the entire bill to be credited for this program. So you guys, in my opinion, are getting the best discount. 20% off your supply equals like 12.5% off the whole bill. And you guys are getting 15. So you're getting even more than the people who initially took the leap of faith to get onto the program when it started are getting.
So how does this work? We don't pay you
You don't pay.
a higher amount
No.
and then you,
Nope.
we've seen programs where we have
Right.
to send you a check and then.
Right, so what'll happen is, as I said, so say, just pretend just for, keep it simple, you're getting a $100 bill from ComEd. We're gonna pay $93 of that bill. You'll get a bill from ComEd for $7. Then you get 15% off of that $93 every month. So again, if your bill's $4,000, then you're getting 15% of 93% of what that would be. So I can do some quick math.
So no matter what the ComEd rate is, we're always getting exactly
15% off of whatever you produce. Yep, so I'm not a rate program, this is a state-funded program, so they guarantee this. The Illinois Power Agency is the one that regulates this, so if this farm comes to you and says, we're gonna guarantee you 15% every month, they have to do that. And the Illinois Power Agency only gives them, I think, up to 90 days to fix any irregularities that they've had with their customers. So, and we had a big billing issue last year where ComEd, I'm sure you saw, changed the way your bills look. You know, went from red to purple instead of your traditional. Well, unless you guys are these bills typically residential for you guys, or were they commercial class?
The bills that you got,
Mm-hmm.
there are commercial bills.
Yeah. Okay. So they used to be red, right? And now they look a little bit different.
They changed all the billing, yeah.
Exactly. So when that happened, essentially the whole program had to shut down because everyone got a new account number, and the account number is how you're attached to the farm. So during that time, ComEd actually updated their billing system for this program because they weren't really slated to take it on. I mean, we had a 1,500% increase in solar production and usage over the last 5 years. So they just weren't equipped for all of that usage. So that was a big reason why that happened. You guys are in at the perfect time. Nope, like the billing's perfect. You're getting a guaranteed 15%, and it's smooth now. So, any other questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned the 20-year lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
When they put the wind towers in, they said, the lifespan would be, I don't know what it was, 15 years. And stuff.
Yes.
What happens after 20 years now?
So
Is there gonna be something, a third option coming along?
There
Because
are renewals.
Wait a minute, let me
Sorry.
finish it. But my main concern is all the agricultural land that we're eating up.
I
By
see.
putting wind towers in, by putting these solar panels in, the solar panels will probably take up a lot more space than the wind towers do, as far as actual acres.
Sure.
And I'm worried about the lifespan, and I'm not convinced on that as a good project.
As far as like them utilizing the land in that way,
Yeah,
There's a couple of things, technology for taking care of them is getting better and better, plus a lot of these other countries, you still have some usage after 20 years. So some of these countries say, hey, if we can buy them off you cheaply, we can still get some use out of them.
Right.
That's a common thing.
right? So the panels degrade over time, so they're still viable after 20 years. They can't guarantee that 15% discount because some of those panels might degrade in such a manner that they're not producing or capturing as much energy as they once were. That being said, the technology, as it says, is advancing, and the people who are monitoring these things are advancing. And the way we're trying to install these projects is not advancing, but maturing. Like I said, we use, in Rockford, we use old quarries, we use old dumps to put the solar farms in. It's not just agricultural land. A lot of that land as well The farmers are retiring and their kids don't want to utilize all the land, so what that farmer is doing is, that's his retirement fund. He's just allowing the farm to utilize, the solar farm to use a part of his land while his family farms the rest, and he gets he gets paid every year just by that farm existing on his property.
And then who gets rid of them after 20 years?
So, I mean, that's it, that's the developer. The developer is responsible, and like, there are regulations for that as well. They can't just leave them there and let them rust. So, yeah, that, again, this is all regulated by not just the Illinois Power Agency, but the U.S. Department of Energy. And I know that they have regulations on properly dismembering these things once they're no longer in use.
So you're looking for us to sign up for a 20-year?
No. So this
Is
program.
there different years?
So I'm offering you the opportunity to use it for 2 decades. The farm is only asking you to use it for at least 3 years. And then after that, if you would like to, they will allow you to use it for 15 more years.
Can I say no?
So,
Yes, you can say no.
Or can a
Absolutely.
farmer after
Yes.
can a farmer after 3 years say no?
The one who had the panels installed
Yeah.
on his property?
Yeah.
If we decide to, let's say we did a 3-year term and we liked it and we wanted to stay on for 20,
Yeah.
the farmer can't turn around and say no.
No, he can't do that. No.
what about after, so say we signed up for 10 years, and after 3 years, you're giving people 20% now. We have to wait until our term's up before we get to go to the 20?
The trend, we're in 12 states, and it always starts off with a
Yeah,
higher amount,
you're at the
like Mass
precipice,
started
at the
with
highest percentage.
Started with 20%, then went to 15. Eventually, the norm, what they like to have is there'll be no incentive with it at all. Everybody be getting it when there's enough. So, I mean, I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. The trend is always down.
Now, what I will
You think they
say,
would implement that now and get
What I will
rid of
say-
everybody's bills, is what I'm getting at.
well, there's just not the infrastructure yet to give it to everybody. It's a first come, first served program right now until, like you said, they build the infrastructure. Then everybody will receive community solar. They just not everybody's going to receive the benefit of utilizing it. You know, so
Because what I've seen a rash of what I'm gonna call fly-by-night solar people coming into town.
oh yeah, absolutely.
That aren't even getting permits. They come to my place because of my garage roof and my house roof.
Mhm.
And first thing I ask them is, where's your permit? And they're, permit. And then they're gone. And nobody at the office has heard anything from them. Even before.
And these are people trying to put solar on like
My house,
Okay.
residential.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do rooftop. That's not my bag. So this is again, I'm not Solar on Earth saying we own these farms. We're going to give you a discount because we own them.
So you're telling me your minimum is 3 years, maximum is 20?
Right. So they have a 3-year commitment that they'd like for people to utilize. Again, if at any point someone comes to you a year into the program and says we're not going to live here anymore if you guys keep using community solar, and you guys all decide that you want to get off, we're an acquisition company for the farm. You just need to let us know. We will put someone else in your slot. We will take you off. The state the farm has to have a certain percentage of residents using it, or they shut down because they don't receive the subsidies from the government if they don't have a certain amount of people.
Okay, so to be totally honest with you, we heard from another place last Thursday, another solar farm. Now, the reason why I'm stating this is because they said that they had to have a 60-40 split. It was 60% commercial, 40%.
That was probably a third-party supplier who like that's like the jack of all trades. They have a little bit of. They've got a friend who's got solar farms, and they add in a little bit into them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, because they said their split was
Yeah.
40% residential, I believe he told us, 60% commercial.
Am I
Last
correct?
Thursday.
That was a third-party supplier. That seems to me it must be that.
I believe he was just like these guys,
I
right?
thought so, yeah.
Almost
You know,
identical.
on your bill, you'll have delivery, that's a charge, supply, that's so many cents per kilowatt hour. And then they may put a mix of, hey, we'll give you such and such a percentage of clean, renewable power in that mix.
And he very well could have, I mean, there are a lot of developers out in the state, and we're doing strictly commercial, like the Nexamp is the developer we're working with. They're not doing residential power right now, they're strictly doing commercial power. And whatever they have left over, they just wholesale to the ComEd.
Okay.
So yeah, they very well could have been correct in what they were saying, because there are hundreds of different developers in the
And
state.
being that the supply, that doesn't affect this at all. Deliveries are charged, supply is charged.
Yeah.
This is just a flat discount based on your dollar use.
Okay. All right.
But this is strictly commercial, right? This is.
Strictly commercial, so it's not the 60/40 that we were presented on Thursday.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to, if you want
Yeah,
to use that.
if
so
he
go for
has
it, you know.
residential.
No, and
Yeah.
by all means, it's something we need to look into as a,
No, that, you can have that and have this, that's two different.
Yeah, they're different. I don't know what he was offering as.
You guys don't offer residential though?
No, we did, but we don't, our developers right now don't have any. That was a big
They
push
were
when
up
this
for
program
15%.
started, was that we
They were
did solar for all, which
15%,
was
yeah.
low to moderate income, and then, I focused.
you're telling me we could have both?
You could have-
I've done supply for 27 years since it started in California. When I came to work 6 years ago, I still do supply if someone's getting really ripped off. But as you've probably seen, you get 100 phone calls a week by the third-party people. And there's good players and there's bad players in that. So I saw this a little bit more reliable. And I still have clients, third-party clients. Deliveries are charged, supply is based off your kilowatt hours, and this is just based off your dollar.
I know where you're going, you want 30%, don't you?
That's what I'm saying.
We can't combine it.
If we can get another one that's 90%,
There you go.
Were they also offering you 15%?
yes.
Yeah.
And, but,
Yeah, but we had to pay them up front, and they gave us.
yeah, there was some commitment up front we had to do.
Yeah, so that, I
And
mean, that
it
very well
didn't,
could
it
be.
did
right?
not sound,
You're not paying anything, the state pays a lot of money into this.
Yeah, they pay a lot.
and he brought that up, but I'm telling you right now, we had to pay a fee.
Yeah, well, now it wasn't a fee, we were paying,
Or we were paying,
somehow he was making it so we're getting 10% or 15%.
yeah.
10%, 15%?
No, it was 15%, but it was, they were basically funneling the money through their company and giving us a discount, which it looked like it was kind of,
Yeah, that's
it
not.
was a little sketchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds a little. You don't have to worry about that with us.
So
next
there's
time-
so we have no accounting or anything to do with this. We don't have to employ anybody to do any accounting.
It's dual billing. So Nexamp is the developer. Again, they're gonna pay your ComEd bill at that 93%, and then you pay them the 15% less what that would have been 40 days later. So it is dual billing. You wouldn't need an accountant to do it, in my opinion. It's all very straightforward. I have hundreds of clients that I could just bring bills in and show you this is what they look like. I actually have some in the car I could grab, and you would see like their bill is zeroed out because they're getting 20% off of their supply, but they produce so much that it covered their entire
And
bill.
we have thousands of residential people, and they don't have personal accountants to do this. They do it on a pretty.
Right.
pretty-
All right, and here's one more question for you. How long's your company been in business? How long has it been this name, not that they
12
flipped
years,
it?
12 years.
12 years.
12 years?
12 years ago, Minnesota, Massachusetts, and Colorado were the first ones to do this.
Yeah.
We started, we still are in Massachusetts, that's our main base, and we've had a base here for 5 years.
Yeah. So 5 years is how long we've been here, but that's how long the program.
5 years in Illinois, but you've total years of service.
It's
It's 12 years.
It's 12
yeah.
years.
And again, this
We're
program's only been here for 5
AAA
years.
rated.
So,
Best business bureau.
Okay.
yeah, we're legitimate. You look us up, okay? We're not funneling money through our company.
Thanks, Marcus, committee meetings, we can't make any decisions.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
We'll,
Yeah,
take this under
thank you,
advisement.
thank you.
All right,
You're
Thank you for your
Any
time.
more questions?
So I haven't sent you a contract. What we need to do is, I need to send out a non-binding agreement to the developer, and I'll leave that with you guys. You guys can discuss whether you want to fill that out, and then you can either email it to me, scan it to me, that's fine. I send that off to the developer with the bills, and they will determine, like I said, what you qualify for. I believe it's the 15%. 11% you would need to be spending a lot more, and I think they just do their due diligence.
At this time, you can't, you're not telling us we're gonna get 15%.
Well, 15% is the only other deal I have other than 11, and 11 is typically for anchor accounts. So I'm going to say that you guys are getting 15. That lighting bill that's like $4,800 a month. I don't think I can cover that one. But every other bill that you sent to me, I could.
Why can't you cover that?
It doesn't have a meter number.
If they find that there is a meter.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Marcus, I'll look into that and look at your agreement
Okay.
and get back with you.
If you look into those folders, you'll see that I have a sample agreement from the Illinois Power Agency. That's what it looks like. That's what your agreement will look like. They're just stating, like, this is what you're guaranteed, this is what you're looking to save, and it's very similar to that. I mean, once you sign the agreement, that's what it will look like. So I can send you a full one, but that's a pretty much a clip notes of what it's going to be.
I'll get back with you.
Okay.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Card, if you have any questions. You guys got any questions today?
You want one, Danny?
Thank you.
Take care. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
You guys have an amazing day.
You
Thank
too.
We're going next.
Drive safe.
I've got some handouts too, you guys are all the paper.
I'll introduce, this is Mark Eddington from Kishwaukee.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Water
Water Reclamation District. And Mark was, he kinda got waylaid here, it's too bad. But,
I was kind of taking it in, I'm curious if
we
we
need to
could
go,
get 15% on what we.
been better if you could get 30%.
Yeah, I know, if you figure that out.
So Mark's, Denny, I think, is really the only one, maybe Josh has heard your presentation before, but the board is almost completely new, so we need to hear it again.
Okay, yeah, no problem at all.
I was sitting over there.
Okay, that's, you screwed me up. I'll try to go quick so you can get out of the way. So my name's Mark Eddington. I'm the executive director of the Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District. We used to be called the DeKalb Sanitary District. So we've been around since 1928. Separate unit of government from the city of DeKalb or the county of DeKalb. There's 3 trustees who are appointed by the DeKalb County Board for 3-year terms. They're the decision makers. And back in 2017, we decided to change our name because we were trying to become more of a regional utility and serve entities outside of just the city of DeKalb. So right now we serve the city of DeKalb, we serve unincorporated areas kind of on the outskirts of DeKalb. We serve the village of Malta, Kishwaukee Community College, and we're talking to other folks around the county, whether it's Maple Park, or Genoa, or Kingston, or Waterman, or you guys, or whoever. We're looking to kind of expand our horizons. Because like any other business, we need more customers to be more cost effective. So that's why we're trying to get more regional in nature. So we have a very large facility. So we have a facility that's probably one of the top 25 largest in the state of Illinois. We have lots of capacity. We are regulated up to our eyeballs. So I mean, as you might imagine, the EPA, we have every standard that we could possibly have. So we're treating to the nth degree. So as far as the effluent that we produce, it's high quality, and there's nothing that's going to change us being highly regulated. So we're trying to leverage our economies of scale county-wide, try to save our customers money by adding new customers, and it just seems, it seems silly for us to run a huge plant and then every other little bird having to run their own plant, unless that's what they want to do. So that's kind of the impetus of what our goal is trying to do. We have a treatment plant in DeKalb. We have about 12 pumping stations around the city of DeKalb. We've got a few pumping stations now at Kishwaukee College and Village of Malta. When we entered into an agreement with Malta and Kishwaukee College, we accepted their all their infrastructure. So effectively, it's our infrastructure now, and we own, operate, and maintain it. So we have entered into agreements with them. We've been serving them since about 2023, so relatively new. But we're talking about doing the same sort of thing for other folks. If you guys are, I don't know how familiar you are with DeKalb, but there's been a lot of development on the south side of DeKalb lately. So we've been extending sewers to the south along 4th Street, just as developments, whether it's Meta or the developments that are coming down the pike, come on, we're extending large diameter sanitary sewers. It looks like they're going to continue to proceed south, so that's what got us talking to Waterman. Ultimately, you got your board a year ago in the Prairie Band Potawatomi, and that's how we kind of ended up here today. We did enter into an intergovernmental agreement with you guys in Waterman to produce a feasibility study, which is the study that you guys are looking at now that was produced. I think we finished it up earlier this spring. It kind of laid out the concept for the project. It could be done, it could be engineered, and with some costs, and then some thoughts on cost sharing. So those things, I'll get to those in a little bit. The first sheet I handed you, that was a sheet that was produced early in the spring, and it was just kind of something that the whole group of communities said, hey, let's put a one-pager together that we can hand off to politicians with the idea that a project like this might garner the support to get grant funding. So that was kind of the discussion there. So again, it's got a nice picture on the front of it, which I think is, kind of shows the route of sewers and pumping stations and infrastructure, and how it would work and those sorts of things. Where we stand today is the village of Waterman is very interested in doing this. The Prairie Band Potawatomi are very interested in doing this as well. I think it's going to happen whether Shabbona wants to be a partner with it or not. We're going to be moving forward with this project, probably starting design ideally in August, with the idea that we, finish a design by next summer. We'd be able to qualify or apply and then qualify for revolving loan funding through the state's, revolving loan program for these sorts of projects. Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District is going to be the loan applicant, and we're going to work out sub-agreements with the partners on how, the monies are split and how all the monies are paid back and those sorts of things. Ideally, this is in the ground and functioning summer or fall of 2028. I think the opportunity for Shabbona is that a lot of this infrastructure is going to be constructed almost right up to your doorstep. And the way it looks, a lot of this infrastructure is going to get constructed probably on the Prairie Band Potawatomi's nickel, because they have pots of money that are available to them that aren't available to anybody else. So I think that's, putting my Shabbona hat on for a minute, I think that would be maybe the opportunity that Shabbona has that's really unique. I'm here to answer any questions you have. Maybe I'll start by just saying, certainly I could review the concept of how the pipe would be laid and how it would work and where it would be located and why. And then if you flip to the second to the last page that has some costs on it, what we did is part of the group, we huddled and we said there's some costs of the infrastructure that everyone shares in, so like community type costs. And then there's some costs that are unique to different partners. Shabbona being kind of on the end, and Potawatomi being kind of on the end. We're really responsible for the infrastructure solely to get it to Waterman. And then once it's at Waterman, everybody shares in kind of the infrastructure to get it north to Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District's existing sewer. So that's kind of the philosophy as to how these numbers were broken down. Now, we didn't stipulate what costs were of the Shabbona Potawatomi, we didn't say, well, these are Shabbona and these are Potawatomi. We just lumped them together. So between Shabbona and Potawatomi, the numbers need to be X as part of the cost share, if that makes sense. You know, our thought was between Shabbona and Potawatomi, we'll figure out how to negotiate whose share is whose. The way it appears now, the Potawatomi are coming up with a very, you know, seemingly coming up with a very large amount of money to fund getting it from their proposed development in the park over to Warren.
Are we allowed to know that number or what?
When you're looking at. Essentially,
What's that?
But they're gonna fund this entire $8.6 million?
they're gonna fund a huge chunk of it. Now, is it the total 8.6? I don't know all those details. And I would think, my guess would be, if you approached them and said, hey, we just want it for nothing, they'd probably not have a great response. They'd probably want you guys to have some skin in the game. I don't know what that is though, but that would be a negotiation that we're not, Kishwaukee's not part of.
So,
When you were here before, we talked about, the Potawatomi at this point really has no fees or money going towards, sewer and the town does, and if this program went through, obviously the Potawatomi would be spending new money. The village of Shabbona, if I recall, rates would go up because it's not all covered. And therefore, you know, Frank and I talked about it, it means an increase for the people in Shabbona. And for the Potawatomi, it's just what they planned on spending anyhow.
Well, I can't, without knowing how much that cost share between the Potawatomi and Shabbona would be, I don't know that we can answer that question. Anything other than I can tell you what Kishwaukee folks pay in their rates right now.
What do Kishwaukee folks pay?
About $33, or no, I'm sorry, about $36 a month. So that's so whether you're a user in DeKalb or you're a user in Malta or a future user in Waterman or wherever we serve, we have one rate that everybody pays the same rate.
Would Waterman be paying less?
no, he just says the same.
No, I mean, would they be paying less than what they are paying now?
I don't know what you guys are paying.
What's our breakdown? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
So is that not metered then? Are you going to be billing people the $36?
That's an average. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Our average user, so our average user that uses, say, I don't want to misspeak here, but say you use 4,800 gallons a month, which is a pretty good amount. Water usage.
Our minimum is 8,000
A month or a quarter?
a quarter.
Quarter. Right, so I'm just breaking it into a monthly cost just to try to, so you can compare it to other monthly costs you might have. So I don't know what your quarterly rate is, but, you know, divide it by 3 and that's what what would be comparable to what you pay us. Now, this doesn't count, I'm not counting any money that you'd have to spend in capital to make a project go. That would be, that's the amount that we don't know, because that would be something that there'd be a negotiation between you folks and the Potawatomi to figure out how that chunk is split up. And so could some of that money, if you had to come up with an extra $1 million from Shabbona, that money would have to be spread over your user base, over a loan that we take out that's either a 20-year or a 30-year loan. I mean, you could back into that number, but you gotta know what that number is first to compare apples to apples, and then.
Here again, my understanding, Shabbona can survive for, what did we say, 5-10 years without really,
I think
we
we
have
can
no
survive
subdivisions or nothing coming in.
Longer than that.
And Waterman has the potential to keep growing as they've been growing. And the tribe is gonna do whatever they're gonna do out at the park, and they're gonna have, expenses that they never had before. But we're gonna have no improvement, but yet we're gonna be paying more.
So what's your question?
Is that fair?
I don't know the age of your existing plant. I don't know what regulations are coming down the pipe for your existing facility. I mean, my assumption is it's a lagoon type facility that was probably built, probably similar to Waterman, probably in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, but why should we as citizens of, and I'm supporting you, so I'm bringing the other
Yeah,
side up. Why should we support a higher increase in our rates, but we have no difference in the delivery? It's still the
The
same.
service doesn't change.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
guess,
I
I
understand we
guess
gotta do it to help.
I don't understand, or what I don't know is what kind of condition your existing facility is in, how much capacity your existing facility has, and what your costs are to own, operate, and maintain all of your existing infrastructure.
Well,
I can tell you, if you had to replace your plant, or you had to expand your plant, which the EPA will not let folks, this is why Waterman and Malta and other folks are working with us, because if they have to expand their plants, lagoon plants, they don't let you expand them anymore. So you're building a new mechanical plant.
Is that?
And I'll use Malta as an example. So Malta was a similar position in Waterman. They didn't have any capacity left in the plant. Their plant was a lagoon plant from the late 60s, early 70s. They were starting to pump more and more money into it and realized that they were going to have to replace it. And the replacement was going to be $12 to $15 million.
That's where you got that figure from?
Yeah, I mean, that's a guess by looking at a kind of a similar size community. It's probably outdated. I mean, the way costs are, it's probably outdated now, and it's probably more than that. But they were staring down the barrel of a $12 to $15 million facility, and we were able to. I think ultimately their share of what we built was around $4.5 million. So it worked out that now they have all the capacity that they need. Today they've got 7 times the capacity of what they had in their existing treatment plant.
Which town?
Malta.
Well, okay.
So, and plus, when you work with us, we're responsible for building capacity in the future. So as long as folks that were to come in to these different communities pay our impact fees, like an impact fee, so like a sewer impact fee in our district on, let's just say, a single family home is $600 a PE. There's about 3.5, which is population equivalent. There's about 3.5 PE per house. It's about $2,100 a house. And as long as that money is collected, whether it's by Waterman or DeKalb or Malta or whoever, kind of the building authority is, as long as we see that money, then we're replacing capacity at the treatment plant, we're replacing transmission capacity to ensure that folks can grow. And who would sign up with us if we said, well, you only get this amount and that's it? And no one would. That's not a great sales pitch.
Here again, these other communities, except Shabbona, are looking to expand. We're not really looking to expand, and we have, nobody knocking on the door that I know of, looking to expand. And I really think this is a great program that you're doing. But the people of Shabbona are gonna pay more and have the same service they got right now.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get clarity on.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
I have-
that's an accurate
sewer,
statement.
I have septic and well, so I have no idea what you guys pay. What is the average monthly?
And I'm on septic too, so.
I wanna know the rate, like,
He's saying 36,000.
no, but how
Per
much?
gallon, or?
Per whatever unit it is.
So the way we bill is there's a small flat charge that everybody pays just every month for kind of like the ability to have sewer.
Like a
sorry.
delivery
And
charge.
then there's a
Can I
per
interrupt you
unit
for 1
charge for every.
Can I just,
Sure.
before you go into that, how would we structure this? Is it, the Village of Shabbona is still billing people for sewer and we're paying you guys?
No.
Okay,
The billing would be exactly the same as you do it now, whether you're quarterly, whether you're bi-monthly, whether you're monthly, we don't care. You just, every time you collect your sewer and water bill like you do now, you just write us a check for the sewer portion of it.
okay, so the
We would
important thing
pay
then is,
you-
what are you charging us?
What's that?
What will you be charging us for?
Well, what we're charging folks now, I can tell you on average what we're charging folks, but I think it's $2.85 per unit, and our unit is 100 cubic feet, so 748 gallons. So for every 748 gallons of water usage, you're paying $2.85, and then you're paying a bi-month, if you're up in our neck of the woods, you're paying a bi-monthly flat fee. I'm trying to think of what it is, $23 maybe, so maybe it's $11.50. So if you broke it into monthly, you'd be $11.50 a month flat fee, and then the usage rate at $2.85 for every 748 gallons, which is 100 cubic feet.
Okay, do we
No.
know what we're charging? Does anybody have?
And I can give you all these numbers.
We're charging, per quarter, $56.64,
For how much?
8,000 gallons is our minimum.
And that's sewer and water.
Yes.
Both of, no, that's just the sewer part. The water part is, 45.12.
We're only charging $56 a quarter?
For the minimum.
For
For
the
8,000
minimum, for 8,000 gallons.
So to
Anything
compare
over,
apples to us, the average number that I gave you is almost 5,000 gallons a month.
So that'd be
4,800 gallons a
that'd be
month is the
20,000 a
average.
quarter. Right? That'd be 20,000 a quarter.
15.
You get
Yeah, 15.
15, yeah.
Yeah, just shy of 15.
And we're,
So your $56 for water, is that quarterly?
no, that's for sewer. $56 a quarter.
$56 a quarter for sewer, then
Right.
with water.
And water is $45 a quarter.
Okay, so we're looking at $100 basically.
Yeah, pretty close.
So
I think Denny, to answer your question,
So we're charging
you would
substantially
not
less.
pay, you would pay more now. If you
And are they-
don't need this,
Are they providing water or just sewer?
just sewer.
The sewer.
Okay.
If you don't need this, yes, you'd be paying more now. I think the thing to weigh would be how much more is it gonna cost you when you do need it?
You know, and you gotta look to the future, you know, this area's gonna grow, I think, the tribe taking over the park is gonna bring more attendance, and hopefully we'll get some businesses going downtown, and I think Shabbona, you know, should be looking up, where the last few years we've been looking down.
I think like at DeKalb, what we've seen, again, I realize we're comparing different sized communities, but we're just seeing, especially in the last 5 years, economic development like I've never seen it. And whether it's Meta or Kraft Heinz or some of these things, the tax dollars that come in with some of these entities are mind blowing. You know, if I told you Meta gives the DeKalb the DeKalb School District over $10 million a year, every year, abated. That's an abated at 50. It's abated 55%. And so I mean that abatement comes off, and that's again they're an extreme example because they're a monster. But there's other monsters lurking in the area, and they're lurking in Yorkville right now, and they're lurking in this entire kind of corridor. And, you know, it's funny you had the power guys here before, but that's the other missing link is power. If you have access to a lot of power, if you have access to sewer and water, you're kind of in the business of maybe being able to attract some different types of economic development. So, I mean, the one thing sewer does provide is that you don't have to say no if you have a big player that's going to come into town that you want in as a big water user. And like, I'll use a data farm, for example. They bought 600,000 gallons a day of capacity from us. So, again, that's an extreme example, but it's something maybe to think about with respect to economic development.
Say we had somebody that wanted to come to town. And would signed up with you, do you provide you provide the infrastructure to this company that's coming to town?
So like we'd provide it to the extent that, you know, once it is where it is in town, so let's just say we hooked up town. And so everything that's hooked up to your existing treatment plant, let's say we hooked that up, and that's all hooked up. So extending your sewage system to reach these different areas, usually that's on the nickel of the developer. Now, that's not to say there might be some crazy development that's gonna do, you know, be in our best interest, and your best interest, and the county's best interest, where my trustees would be like, oh, maybe we'll kick something into this because, you know, we think it's such a great deal. And we think, you know, it's a huge user for us, and maybe because they'd be sending us so much sewage, we'd be able to push some of that money back into a project to extend sewers. We've done those sorts of things before.
Well, we have no infrastructure other than the villages it sets right now. And we don't have infrastructure two of the guys that are on the board, they don't have sewer. One of them has water, the other one doesn't. So that infrastructure is not here.
That would be, you know,
And I'm on one of the main roads in town. So 7 doors to the north of me is where the water main, or where the sewer starts, even though we're all on city water, but then.
sewer hasn't gotten extended to, okay.
Which,
I'm not familiar
It'll be
with, I'm not familiar enough with your system to know, you know, where large pipes are, and where it can be extended and to.
But that extension would be on Kishwaukee District after we, well, signed with you? Or it'd be on us?
No, I mean, it would be like, probably like, who pays for it now when you guys extend sewers? The developers or the individual homeowners or?
We haven't extended it for many, many years.
Yeah, it would probably be, I mean, so if somebody came to you today and said, and asked you the same question, who do you extend it for folks? We'd probably be answering the same way you would. We're like, no, we're not gonna pay for each individual property owner. That's kind of the next property owner's responsibility.
so let me ask you something else. Have you looked into any other considerations? Because what happens if there was a tile already to the east of here? To hook up the sewer
To somebody else.
from Shabbona East?
Well, and you've got it in your proposal here. Shabbona has a 24-inch tile that runs well past where you proposed putting it in.
Storm drain, or I don't know,
No, it's effluent drain.
from your plant?
Mm-hmm. And
That's probably what you're looking.
It's in your proposal that you know it's there.
Okay.
So I guess
What's
my
the
question, Mark's, why wouldn't you use that tile?
I don't know that we wouldn't.
Okay, but it doesn't in your
This is
proposal.
a concept, so I mean, this
Okay.
hasn't been
Well,
designed
then
yet.
fair enough, that's
Yeah.
a fair enough answer.
This is just a concept.
But if there's already a tile there, why are we going through the steps of, it's gonna cost us $4 million instead of to hook everything up and shut that plant down and say it was $500,000 or $750,000? Then I could see that it would be a little bit more feasible.
Well, I think, but I think that's the answer, is that we don't know what that 4 million or $500,000 or 6 million or whatever it is. We know it's $8.5 million to serve you guys in the Potawatomi. I don't know how that money gets split between the two.
And I guess that brings me to another question. So this concept here on this, it has it jogging out to University Road and then back in. Why wouldn't you just come straight up Preserve Road?
So there's a huge hill on Preserve. We looked at that first. So there's a huge grade change where the sewer was going to be so deep, it was going to be 45 feet deep in some areas. To get from Shabbona to Waterman via gravity, that we found that it would be more efficient, more constructible, ultimately cheaper to, even though it's longer, to go that south route, because you kind of work around that hill, if that makes sense. It's not intuitive when you look at it. You're like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
First time I looked, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's gotta be more expensive, because we're, it's like a couple miles more of pipe.
Yeah.
But
More
when
than
you
a couple
drive,
miles.
when you drive,
We're
we're not crazy.
Well, it looks, I'm gonna say it, it looks to me like it's to serve the Potawatomi. Because you show your pipe running down to the south end of their property. The Potawatomi has not told us what they're gonna do. Why do we need to get in with the Potawatomi? We don't know what they're gonna do.
Right.
We have
Or if it's
no
gonna
idea.
happen.
And then it's been asked,
It's been asked.
and they will not say.
Well,
Do you know something we don't?
I mean, I can tell you guys,
Okay.
they have a development, it's called the development, that's planned on the property. They plan on,
In the lake, in the state park?
I don't know, on the property, I'm not talking about the park property.
No.
I'm talking about the
You're
property
talking about the
adjacent to
park property
the,
is their
bingo
property.
parlor.
well, I know that, but I'm talking about whatever their first property was before
Right.
they got the park.
In the Ward Farm.
Right, the 218 acres there they own.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it looks like.
I'm under
project
the
is
understanding that there was gonna be a hotel development on that particular property. I know nothing about the park property.
Okay. We know nothing at all. This board knows nothing at all. Maybe the previous board did, but we don't. And I'll be real honest with you. I know we have a 24-inch pipe for effluent out past, right past the Potawatomi's property and farther towards Waterman.
It's your discharge, right, to the river?
To
To the creek?
yeah. But it's a 24-inch pipe, and in this study, you're proposing a 12-inch pipe. So I gotta think the pipe's big enough to handle whatever we're doing.
I mean, certainly,
And if there had to be a pumping station between here and there, it looks to me like that might be the cheaper way to go. And quite honestly, they came to me and wanted to sit in on this project, and I don't know that we can afford it. I don't know what the interest cost would be to us, you know? You're gonna take out the
I'll play
loan.
devil's advocate with you. What do you think you can afford?
Right now, I don't think we can afford any of that.
Well,
So I mean, if you went to the bottom line and said, we can give you zero, you know,
Well, I got a question.
but without kind of sitting down with them and having maybe an awkward conversation, be like, look, we want to be a partner in this. Negotiate with them. You can always say no.
Well, and that's probably where we're at, but I'm seeing $8 million on this between us and the Potawatomi. And I guess,
7 million and 1 million.
and that might be feasible, but we've got to figure the interest costs in it too, because we don't have the money to put out $1 million for this project. One, what we have is serving us right now. And
I mean, but it, you know, I don't want to be like a used car salesman here, but it would be over a 20 or 30, that $1 million would be amortized over 20 or 30 years.
and there are also interest going on.
Yeah.
Well, and
20 or 30
and
years.
the interest rates on these revolving loan programs are incredibly low, 2% or less. We did Waterman for I think it was 1.3%, or not Waterman, Malta for 1.3%. So it is like as close as you're going to get to free money financing in these days as you can get. It's not like you're paying a bond rate.
I think Malta's situation was similar to what we have, because they had Kishwaukee College involved, correct?
They did.
How much did Kishwaukee College put into it?
Kishwaukee College, so that, the way that project broke out, Malta paid for half of it, Kishwaukee College paid for 25%, and Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District paid for 25%. And then we, as a loan applicant, DeKalb, our service area resides below the median household income, so we're able to qualify for debt forgiveness. We're able to qualify, our district as the applicant is able to qualify for these other things that are kind of unique in a good way,
Well,
that benefit these projects.
why don't you dig a little deeper and see what you can do for us? As far as, because we've had nobody from Potawatomi come, we were supposed to have meetings with them, and they had left. I never met with them. I think they met with Frank. Did you meet with them? Okay, well, you guys did. You guys didn't. So why don't you see what you can do for Shabbona?
I'm here with my shovel digging right now.
Okay. But this is preliminary on, you searching out the money now, because we have to present this to the board, and.
I submitted this to you guys in June.
Not to us, you didn't.
I
Not to
emailed
us.
it to you on June 13th. So, like, we're getting to the point where this again, all due respect, we're getting to the point where this project it's going forward. And this is kind of like my last ditch to see if you guys want to hop in now versus hopping in at another time. And that's fine
It's
too.
going forward with Waterman, not with Potawatomi.
What's going forward with both?
It is.
That's
But
fine.
you
You
don't
think
know
we
how-
don't know this?
You don't know how much money the Potawatomis are giving you?
I know they're giving a lot. We don't have any of those things.
It's gonna be.
Finalized
finalized now, type thing.
So if it's
The
going
tribe,
forward
the tribe
already,
is gung ho to
if
do
we've
it.
got 24-inch getting to their location, why are we even worried about anything then?
Yeah,
Well, I
It
don't,
sounds like they're.
that's what I'm asking Mark. We've got a tile out there. Can that be used? We got a tile right to their corner.
Again, I don't know anything about the tile.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
So
Back to
I'm here presenting a concept
yeah.
and seeing if you guys are interested in this concept at what I think would be a bargain basement cost.
All right, so I just want clarification. So Waterman is twice the size of Shabbona, almost. Yes?
I think they have,
probably over twice
yeah,
the
probably,
size now.
probably I think there's 675 accounts and you guys are probably 350
300.
accounts. So yeah, about double.
So why are we paying more than they are? I guess
You
is the
and the-
question.
You and the Potawatomi?
Well,
Because the stretch of pipe from here to Waterman, you can't ask Waterman to pay for
no, I understand that, but I
that.
mean.
That's why.
So it's a stretch of pipe to get to Waterman, it's costing
So, like-
twice as much.
Well, what we did was we said, what's the flow from Shabbona? What's the flow from Waterman? And we broke that flow. So we said the infrastructure from Waterman to Kishwaukee would be split by flow. So I think the split was 60%, 40%. So 60% of that cost was Waterman.
Yeah, but
40%.
these numbers don't represent 60/40, we're paying the 60, we're
Because,
paying the 40.
because you still have, that's on just the first section. So imagine the pipe to get to Waterman is one section.
Uh,
That should be paid for by the amount used by each community. Is that fair to say? So if you guys use less, you should pay
Half.
for less, right? Half, whatever it amounts
yeah,
to.
yeah.
But you still, I say you, the folks using the pipe out here, whether it's in this instance, it's Shabbona and the Potawatomi, would be partnered together. They're paying full freight from here to Waterman, to get it to Waterman. And then they're sharing from Waterman to, so that's why it's so much higher. Because there's, I don't know, if it's 6 miles of pipe between here and Waterman that they're not paying for at all. If that makes sense.
And I guess that's our negotiation with the Potawatomi, because that 6 miles of pipe is to get to them.
Bingo.
But just say we decided we didn't want anything to do with it, and then 3 years from now, we want to do something with it. Is there a recapture on this that we'd have to pay?
There will
or-
be some sort of recapture or impact fee or, and again, those things haven't been figured out yet. But there would be. And that's why I'm here.
And that just triggered me something else. If one of these guys that doesn't have sewer wanted to go on the sewer, they pay an impact fee to the Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District.
Correct. Anybody that connects pays an impact fee. And
And
then,
it's off the, kind of a weight, but do you get tax money?
yes,
You've got a board of,
very little, like, probably on the average house, we, per year, the property tax levy that we levy is about $60.
so we'd see another line item on
Correct.
our,
100%, correct.
and the folks in DeKalb see another
Same.
line item on their bill.
But everyone would be paying the same. We'll use Malta as a good example, because they're not annexed to our city. So they pay it in lieu of tax, in lieu of property tax to us. It's at the exact same rate per EAV that the DeKalb folks who are in our district pay, just so everybody pays the exact same amount to the sanitary district.
So we would have
Similar to that.
we'd have a bill to you for each residence would have a bill, and then we'd also have a tax bill added on to that.
Correct.
And then the guy that wants to hook onto it has an impact fee.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I don't know, and again, we're in committee meetings here, so we can't
make decisions.
can't make a decision for you tonight, but.
No, I'm not, and that's not what I, my goal is to get in front of you folks, let you know where this thing is starting to move quickly, and to let you know, I've got a board meeting on Wednesday this week, and I'm probably gonna get approval to start with the engineering and stuff. So Waterman's budgeted money, the Potawatomi have budgeted money, we budgeted money, and that's moving forward. And this is my last ditch effort to say, hey, if you guys are interested in this, we gotta talk. And nothing can't be reworked to make it work. But I just don't wanna miss this opportunity.
So how much do you have the Potawatomi committed to? Because we don't have any idea.
Well, I can tell you,
Out of this-
I
out
can
of
tell
this-
you for the engine, so how we do this is like in parts. So like the first thing we do is do the engineering. Right, so no one's committed to construction yet. We're just committing, what we're trying to do is commit to do the engineering to where we can publicly bid it, get a price, an actual price tag for some contractor to come in and do it. And then whoever the partners are, we're gonna huddle again and go, okay, do we wanna do this? Right, there's kind of an off ramp after the engineering. The engineering is $1.34 million. So we're splitting the costs of the project. Right now, it is, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. I think the Potawatomi's paying for 49% of the engineering. We're paying for 18% of the engineering, and Waterman's paying for the balance.
Well, this says engineering is 1.7.
That includes, well, that's an old number, and we've negotiated a 1.34.
How much did you say the Indians are paying? 54?
49?
I think 49%.
Well, they must have something planned that's gonna take a lot of sewer, the way I see it.
Yeah.
They have access to money that we don't understand, we don't understand.
Well, I understand that, but
And their alternatives, I don't think their alternatives for sewer service, they're not great.
they don't have any alternative for sewer service.
That's
is the way I see it,
Yeah,
unless they
Build their own plant.
build their own.
correct, which would be,
That ain't gonna fly.
which would be tens of millions of dollars.
Well, 218 acres, they have enough room.
Throw
I
up the
think,
corner of their property.
I think the survey, the prices don't take into effect what we already have in the ground. What would be our effluent discharge, 24-inch pipe. You put a T in it and go to the Potawatomi or I don't know, but I just,
There's certainly certainly in a design, if there's benefits that we don't understand from the concept to be found, that's when we try to find those things and take advantage of them. And maybe maybe that knocks off a huge chunk, right?
yeah, and I see the water district's putting over $4 million into it here. And being I'm slow, how do you get your $4 million back?
Well, we look at
When do you
it
get it back?
like, we look at it like new customers. So if we add, let's say you guys have 375 accounts, right? We want those accounts to pay Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District bills every month, because I'm sitting on a treatment plant that has 50% capacity remaining. I got 4.5 million gallons of capacity. It's paying for nothing. It's bought. No, it's not bought and paid for. It's constructed. We're paying for it, and I don't have users to fill it up yet. So I'm looking for users to drive our costs down. So every user I can add. So when we look at 350 new accounts in Shabbona, I do the math on that and I say, okay, how much debt can I buy for 350 accounts? Knowing that, yeah, you guys will probably add some houses over the years and maybe a business comes and that's just like, kind of like a bonus, bonus customers. So between what Waterman has, and between what Shabbona has, that's over 1,000 accounts. So in 1,000 accounts, and we probably make, let's just say it's $400 a year per account. That's $400,000 of revenue that we have. I can take that $400,000 of revenue and just pump it into the project and buy long-term debt at a cheap interest rate. So every $60,000 of revenue, $61,000 of revenue I get, I can buy $1 million worth of debt.
And
So
we don't know
that's
how
how
big
we're
that
able-
development's gonna be. I mean, they could.
So that's how
replace
we're able to.
all of our accounts, just how many rooms they put up.
So that's how we're able to pump that money
Think about
back
how big
into
that
these
whole project
projects and still make a little bit of a return to justify why we're even doing this to our own customers.
Did they tell you how big their hotel was gonna be?
No, I do not know that.
But we're looking at that. That's cha-ching for them right there.
I mean, we serve the park right now,
Correct.
so that capacity that we have in our plan, I assume would go away.
If the park went a different direction, you guys would get that.
If the
Your
Potawatomi,
plant would get that capacity back to sell.
the Potawatomi, they would, I guess they own the park now, I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know if that's final yet.
I don't
But I think
know.
it might be imminent, but I don't think it's finalized.
But what we're getting out of the park now would probably should go with the Potawatomi's deal that they're making with you. And it would make sense to me that they need to use our effluent drain to get to you. Or you'd have to put a whole new line in
And
there.
they'd have to put a whole new pipe in if they didn't do that.
So
Which would be obviously added cost.
and I'm sorry we got into this late, us, other than
Hey.
and I got
No worries.
all kinds of questions running in my head.
Well, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have tonight, or I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have
Yeah, we'll probably have to.
coming up.
I think we're gonna have to digest this, to be real honest with you.
Yeah,
If,
it's a lot to digest.
If you need an answer from us tonight,
That's,
actually, we can't give it to you tonight because we're in committee meeting.
that's not why, I'm here to just say I think there's a golden opportunity for Shabbona to take advantage of something that is just super unique. And I kind of think that there'll be a lot of politicians that are gonna jump onto this project and pile money on it as well. So I think there's other grant opportunities.
I gotta
where-
check on my secretary here, she could be dying and I don't know.
So anyway, I'm just here to make sure you
Yeah,
guys.
we'll probably have to have you back.
Yeah. Well,
You okay, Mel?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay.
Can I?
Bill's not dying, we're okay.
The structure of the thing is that the Village of Shabbona retains control over our sewer district. And we bill the customers and then we pay you, the KWRD, for however much sewage we pump into your station, right?
Well, that could be formed in different ways. When you say control
Beat you on
over,
the back or something?
Yes.
when you say
please.
control over our district, would you not want, the question would be, would you want Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District to operate and maintain your infrastructure? Because that's what we do for everybody else.
Okay, so the deal then is that all of our sewer pipes that we have right now, we're giving those over to KWRD.
That could be the deal.
Okay,
Is that the deal you made with
That's a
Malta?
deal we're making with everybody else. So if we didn't make that deal with you guys, we'd have to charge you guys a lesser rate because wouldn't be handling the collection and maintenance and those sorts of things for your sewer system.
but then are you directly billing people in Shabbona?
No, you guys would be billing. We don't want to be in the sewer billing business.
Yeah,
It
they're
would
billing us
almost be
based on.
smarter to have them take over the sewer.
And the amount
Be
that you're billing
responsible for the
us,
sewer line.
is that strictly the, whatever it was, it's $3.26 per, what, cubic foot? Is that what it was?
I think it's $285.
I just looked it up on the KWRD website.
I'm guessing that's out of date. I'm guessing that's out of date.
Okay. So is that the number that we would be billed?
And then the flat fee.
Well, the flat fee
Remember I said there's like a monthly flat fee
per household?
per account.
Okay. Which is, how much is that?
I think it's either 13, maybe it's $13.50 a month.
It's 15 per bi-monthly. So that's $7.75 a month.
Go by my numbers. I think if you're looking up stuff that might be aged.
Per month, we're looking at $18.88, $19 a month.
I'm looking at the thing that was filed on March 21st.
Yeah, we had a rate increase after that.
Okay.
How about hooking existing houses up on main roads to sewer then? It's gonna be cheaper instead of septic.
Well,
Well, there's an impact.
I
No,
don't
it'd be free.
know. I don't know
So
if
you
it's
want
ever
another
going to be.
50% on electric, too?
What's 30?
I don't know if hooking up to sewer is ever going to be cheaper than
Septic, no.
well,
Never gonna be.
Until I have
septic.
to have my septic
Until they don't let
replaced.
you do.
Until I
they
have
don't
to
let
have
you
my
replace
septic
your septic.
replaced, is what I'm looking at.
I wouldn't do it until my septic failed.
I wouldn't wanna go sewer.
Do we know what our average sewer charge is?
Per quarter, we're $56.64.
What's the average though?
Oh, I don't, maybe I have that here.
I'm trying to think what. Real shell vault was.
See what I say, what I tell people is a
330
joke. I'm like, if
bucks.
they don't know how much their sewer bill is, we're not charging them enough.
Because I mean, if I know what our average rate is, I can tell you whether our rate will go down.
My guess is our rate is more expensive than your rate now.
Just purely the sewage rate, you're charging $4.36 per 1,000 gallons, and we are charging $7.08 per 1,000 gallons. So that's why I wanted the average. If I can factor in that monthly
You
charge.
need like apples to apples is figuring out, like, take your bill, I don't know how many units you use in your house, and then just use our
So we all
rate.
pay for 8,000
Do you
gallons.
pay
more.
for anything, if you go over 8,000,
We
you
do.
pay more?
Yeah, we do.
So that's like, when I give you our average, that would be somebody using
15.
4,800 gallons a month,
Yeah.
which would be almost 15,000 versus your 8. So if you're paying, if we were only paying, make me do this. If you were only paying 8,000,
That's what we
At
pay
our
for is
rate.
8,000. That's minimum. And we charge 708 per quarter. Per 1,000
per
gallons.
1,000. So per 1,000, we're 385 per 1,000. But again, we get the flat fee, so that's not, our flat fee isn't nothing.
Plus, that's if somebody uses that much.
And that's if something was
Somebody's
that
gonna,
much.
nobody uses that much.
Well, we've got it, well, of course, the state park does and the school does. And I would guess maybe the nursing home does. Those would be our three biggest customers, I think.
Yeah, the school will probably be.
But then that's all money that comes out of our budget too. That we no longer, for sewer, we take in $119,000 a year.
Correct. But if you don't have to do anything more, ever again on your sewer,
Ever again, yeah.
right, that would be the trade-off. Almost be like you'd just be assigning that over to us. If we handle your maintenance and your,
All right. If a person used 15,000 gallons in a quarter, you would charge them almost exactly $100, and we would charge them $106. So that, depending on where our
I think
capital cost is.
I think it's close, but you guys might be a little cheaper. We'd have to look.
But then you forget the tax that you're paying too, the real estate
Yeah.
tax.
So add $5 a month on that for the real estate tax.
Add $5 a month to
Yeah.
that. Well, then you would charge 115 and we would charge 106. So assuming we had zero capital costs, our rates would still go up.
And after you take over, what kind of charges or what kind of expenses are we gonna have? Are we gonna have to close the sewer plant? Our bonds, are we gonna have to decommission that?
Or
That would probably be part of the, so like with
You
Malta,
pay the
that was
decommission?
part of the project was, and again, to figure out I don't know anything about your plant as far as decommission. I don't know how complex it would be to decommission. But that would be something
It's
you
a
probably
3
would
lagoon
roll into
plant.
the project.
And I would assume you'd have to get in there to get your line to it.
We'd basically turn your plant into a pumping station. Yeah, we wouldn't even have to do that. It's gravity. We wouldn't even need to do that.
Go over gravity until we get out.
Right.
I
Do
think
you guys have any pumping stations in town?
Yes,
How many?
one, and I think there may be 2 or 3 out in the park. I'm not sure how many. I know there's at least 2. There may be 3. I think as it stands right now, the state is getting a pretty good deal on water and sewer from us. And if I would think this board would look at the Potawatomi and want to charge them more. I would want to charge them more. As being a separate entity, that we got no skin in their game.
Something we'll have to discuss.
I guess right now, Mark, I'm confused by most of it, and I don't know what the tribes, you know more about what the tribe wants to do than we do. And if they want us to partner with them, they better be maybe a little more forthcoming with us as far as what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Cause it's not only sewer. I don't know if they expect us to supply water to them. I don't know if they're gonna do their own water infrastructure, but
You guys supply water to the park now?
we do. But we don't supply water to the property, the 218
Right.
acres they own.
Right.
We're probably,
Well,
we're
I
probably
mean-
a mile away from there. With any water we have.
I would be happy to facilitate a sit-down with the Potawatomi and Waterman or whoever you guys wanna talk to, if that's what it takes to sort through some of these things.
I think we need to talk with the Potawatomi. What Waterman does, I mean, we got nothing to do with that, but the Potawatomi, I think we're entangled with, because whatever they do is gonna affect us somewhat. Maybe not,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know,
no, that
I
makes
think
sense.
if they need the sewer, they need to pay for it out to their property. And then I guess we'd have to figure out what the recapture is,
That's the essence of it.
because today, I think we're okay. I don't, we're not in the position that Waterman's in,
Correct.
and the Potawatomi is in no position right now, because they have nothing.
Correct.
We can survive on our own, and
100%.
I guess I'd have to know what the recapture would be before I'd think about it.
And as far as that goes, we still have capacity.
We still have capacity, and I don't know that there's anything imminent here that would,
That's
Would
the only,
take up
right, that's
capacity.
the only, the only thing is, if your plant is tip-top and you don't need to worry about your facility, if you don't have anybody knocking on your door to like buy up the rest of the capacity you guys have, then you guys are fine. And you can wait and you can kind of kick that can down the road. You can see how this whole thing
we're
sorts
good
its
at
way.
that, kicking the can down.
Well, we're government, we're great at it. But, so you can delay that till the future. It's just, we don't know what things are gonna cost in the future. That's the only kind of unknown. Once we bid this thing and we build it, we'll know what it costs now. We'll be able to wrap our hands around whatever that debt is. That's the choice that I think is on the table.
And I'm only one of 6 guys that are here. And I'm not in a rush to do it. It may be a very good deal for us. I just haven't come to that realization yet, because we can stand on our own, where the other 2 players in this can't. They have to have it. We don't have to have it. And
You guys don't need it. I mean, you
I
don't
think-
need it, like Waterman, they're running up against running out of capacity. They get Lennar Homes, who wants to knock down 100 units. They've got other folks that want to knock down 100 units, and they're not going to be able to service all these new homes unless they do something with their existing treatment plant. That's the reality there. If Potawatomi wasn't in it, Waterman would still be doing this, because it's
Well, they'd
just-
have to do it. But the cost wouldn't be as big, because you can come to them.
Well, their costs would actually be more, because they wouldn't have the Potawatomi paying for the share,
study.
the study or that share to us. So they're a beneficiary
They're
of the Potawatomi being.
Waterman's benefiting it more from it, more than
We
what
are.
Than we are,
what
yeah.
you realize, more than we are, with Potawatomi.
Yeah, I
That's
think,
probably a fair statement.
well, this,
And then, nothing against Potawatomi, but here's the deal, if there's no way that we could even look at this for even a third of this cost.
Well, it'll all be on borrowed money,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of your operation is borrowed money, correct? So,
Well, and
I
I'd have
don't
to
think,
see
I don't think a third is, I'm not gonna pretend like I know what it would take to get the deal done. I think there's a much better deal for you guys than kicking in the third of that number.
well, I think
A much better deal.
there has to be a better deal for us because we don't need it.
yeah,
100% agree.
Maybe Waterman's gotta put a little more skin in the game than, you know, with the Potawatomi, but right now,
yeah.
it's those two entities that need it. And we're the third one
Well,
that could use it, but.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
They both need it, and they're both gonna do it. This is a no-brainer for both of them.
They're already doing it.
They're already doing this.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm here to tell you, is this is moving forward. And sometimes when you don't need something, when you have a deal, like the best deal in town, that's when you take the deal, right? Because you don't have to buy the new car when you need to buy the new car.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm here to, that's what I'm selling.
Well, I guess, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, you facilitate something with Potawatomi and
Sure.
show us where the deal is.
I would be happy to.
Because right now, I don't see that it's probably a good deal for us today.
Well, let me ask you this.
Our bill.
Can you guys tell me what a good deal looks like
You see what I'm saying?
for you today?
I don't know, I don't know.
You guys are still getting a reading.
With us being
You use a
new
lot of water.
members and just being in here,
You'd have to
I
use
don't
a
think
lot
it'd be
of-
fair without everybody.
No, I don't mean you have
regular-
to tell me anything
But-
tonight. That's not
But
what
I'm just,
like, I think the question is, what's a deal that Shabbona could agree to?
No increase,
No interest?
no increase. If we could do this project without increasing the rates to Shabbona people, that is a lot more acceptable than raising it 20% or 25% or whatever.
But the flip side is, when you replace your facility, if it's 10 years from now or whatever, those rates are going to triple. I
Well,
promise you. That's the difference.
flip a coin, which is right, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why I'm asking you about, where's the recapture at on this? Where,
If
If
you're
we
in
gotta
on
go
the front
into
end,
3
there's no,
years
if
from
you're
now,
in,
what-
if you're in on the front end, there's no recapture.
right,
Because you're a partner. If you're not in, I think without being, we'd have to figure out what that recapture would be. It would be no less than what our impact fees would be for your entire community though. So if it was
I think we could stand- I think
$2,100,
we could stand that.
so if it was $2,100 per house and you had 350 houses, you guys can do the math on that. It would be
I think it'd be a lot
600
cheaper
600
than
some
what we're
thousand.
looking
That would
at
be the
here.
minimum it would be.
Yeah, guys, I got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I guess the thing of it is, we could sit here and dwell about this throughout this whole meeting and pick your brain, but I think it would almost be easier if you facilitated with the Potawatomi and came to board meeting.
I'd be happy to.
I'm telling you, I think it's the only thing fair for us, because we're going at this virtually blindfolded to sit here and poke at you and say, what could we do as far as money? It's irrelevant at this point, right now.
I think it would be, like, my recommendation would be, obviously not a quorum of you, right? But one of you maybe sit down with them initially and try to get the framework of what an agreement would be, and then maybe come back and present that to your board for its consideration.
I think that's where we're.
I think rather than walk them into a public meeting kind of cold and negotiate it in the, like in a boardroom, that might not be the best. It'd be great to kind of get a framework first, present that to you guys. Hey, does this look like something that you guys could live with? If so, then maybe come to the board meeting and then present that concept to everybody to make a decision.
It may take more than one of us.
Sure.
To sit down with them, because I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any one of us that wanna be the decision maker.
I don't know how quorum works,
Well,
like open meetings act stuff. How many commissioners?
Could we do it during an executive session?
well, the expert just left, I
Two.
don't know.
No, you can't, you'd have to.
How many
do it
commissioners
all
you guys
together.
have?
We got 7, but.
We've got
So
6.
three.
Counting
And-
Frank.
So two could meet with them
Two can meet.
without violating the Open Meetings Act.
Yeah,
If that's okay with William, we'd have to ask him first.
yeah, and William left.
Yeah,
He's,
well,
he's missing out on them.
He wants to go
You're good
pick on the
too.
school, is that what I heard?
Yes.
You gotta love him.
So I think, Mark, from
Needs to get a hobby.
my standpoint, I don't know about the rest of the
I
guys here,
think that
but
is a hobby.
I'd like you to facilitate some kind of a meeting where we can figure, I don't think you can come up with a cost until you've done the engineering, correct?
So I think the step one, and the step one would be, how do we split the engineering? Right?
Because that would be the first money that we'd have to
And
lay
again,
out would
that's-
be engineering.
It's a
money.
lot less dollars than the construction. But that would get everyone to the point where we know this is what the whole thing costs. But we'd want the framework of the agreement on the engineering to be something that we'd also use for the construction. So whatever the percentages of everybody is kicking into it, we'd want those to be, so if we were able to get the framework of the engineering done and say, yeah, this seems like it makes sense.
But that
we
wouldn't tie us down to anything if we went into the engineering.
I think if you got done with the engineering and said, you know what, we could, any partner would have to have an off-ramp if the construction costs were so much that it was a bridge too far. So if an agreement would be just for the engineering. Okay, once that gets done, you get a bid price, then you'd have to huddle again, and there'd be another agreement where everybody says, yep, we're in for the construction, and this is how it gets sliced and diced. So it's and again, we did this to some extent with the feasibility study. You guys kicked in $2,000, we kicked in maybe, I don't know, 7, I think Waterman kicked in 7, and the Potawatomi kicked in like 15. So,
Well, yeah, Callan, Richard, what do you guys think? I mean, there's gonna be a cost to us to be even in the engineering study.
Yeah.
Well, and again, like I said before, Waterman is benefiting from the Potawatomi.
Yep.
And Waterman would also be benefiting if we went on board to do this, even the feasibility study for okay. So maybe our skin in this is a little bit less.
I think that's how, if I was you guys, I would
I mean,
go in and try to get the best deal.
we're at the tail end of this, and let's be real,
We don't need it.
we don't need it.
We don't need it, and we've got pipe out to the corner with the,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
we're there. It's
So-
not in your engineering, what you presented, but
I think these
We're
are all
there.
more reasons we'd love to have you guys at the table, because maybe what you kick into this project is already in the ground somewhere.
well, that's what I'm thinking.
Right? And again, I'm oversimplifying it.
No, I don't.
But we
I
don't
think
know
that's-
these things until we get in, we have everybody at the table that's partnering up on it.
I think you get a meeting with the Potawatomi, and maybe after the Potawatomi, throw someone from Waterman in with these guys and pick a couple guys and have a sit down with them, and I think we'll let you drive that. Don't you agree?
Well, I
mean,
think so. I think what we need to know, I think, is what's the engineering study gonna cost us?
Yeah.
How much is
and-
Waterman gonna pick up and how much,
Well, and here's the other thing maybe to think about is what are we engineering, and is there anything more than just connecting up your facility that we're engineering?
I think
Is
that's,
there another pipe that benefits, I don't know how you guys are kind of laid out, but like, does a pipe coming out of, you know, a gravity pipe coming out of your treatment plant to serve something new or something existing or something whatever, is that an attractive thing to roll
Go to a
into
lift
this
station.
project?
But that needs to be figured out.
Yeah,
I don't know if the pipe we've got in the ground works for what this project is gonna be. I'm not an engineer, I can't even drive a train, so you guys gotta tell us, I mean, but we do have infrastructure in the ground that
right. Could be
the
useful.
Potawatomi don't, and Waterman doesn't.
Correct.
I mean, Waterman, as far as they can go, is you gotta go right to their sewer plant. The way I see it.
Exactly.
Us,
Their sewer plant's becoming a pump station. It's gonna pump it basically to Perry Road, and there'll be an interceptor sewer that will, you know, that'll be extended to about Perry Road.
I think I need to see more than what they got here. What can be done. And that's probably the engineering study, what I would guess. So I think we need to know how much the engineering study would cost us. And our partners need to know we don't need it. We're helping them. And looking to our future somewhere.
I think they both understand you don't need it.
Well, no, I'm not sure of that, because I did have a meeting with Zeke the other day, and I don't think he understands it. I think Zeke left mad because I wasn't gonna jump on board with him. I think the previous board, maybe Denny can speak to it, was ready to go with this.
Yeah, I was under the impression it was a go, you know.
That was the impression I was under too. So that's why I was eager to meet with you guys and just let you introduce you to Kishwaukee, so you can put a face with the name. You can understand where this is going with the other partners. You know, the next couple months is make or break time on when, if you want to join into this thing or not.
I think you need to get Waterman and the Potawatomi and some of us together, and I need to know what.
I'd be happy to.
I need to know what it's gonna cost us for the engineering study, and
And during that time, can we find out what's in the ground? Do we want to do that?
yeah, I'm sure it's all here. I mean, I
Because
can't
if
lay
we
my
can
hands
present
on
that,
it.
'cause
That would be
maybe
useful.
we're already in.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our end.
That would be useful.
We've already expended the money on that pipe going out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's our feasibility fee.
Yeah.
That would be useful.
If they want it done, they can pay the rest.
And
Here's what we're going.
quite frankly, their state park, if it comes to fruition that they have the state park, they're already hooked up with us. And that the pipe that we have in the ground would take them to
It would be
you.
pipe they wouldn't have to put in the ground.
Right,
again.
they wouldn't have to come to the state park. I think we got plenty involved in this right now that nobody's giving us credit for. I think it's all, whatever we got is you guys are gonna be a certain percentage of the mix, and I think we already got our percentage maybe in the ground. And maybe we don't, I don't know. That's why we gotta have engineering study. I don't think
Well,
I don't think we wanna be the major part of this.
I don't think anybody's looking for that.
And maybe I read Zeke wrong the other day, Denny was with me, but I think Zeke, when I told him, I said, I don't think we got money for it. Zeke was just like this, and I gotta go.
See, what I see is Waterman has to do it. And they're gonna have X amount of dollars to do it. They're looking for other people like Shabbona or the Potawatomi to help lower their costs. So it
Right.
doesn't cost them so much.
Well, and what Waterman doesn't have to do is make it any bigger than how big they need to serve their community either.
Yeah,
So
but
like when you, these
they're
things
looking for
go in.
Shabbona to pay part of their bill,
No, but like,
and they're looking for the Potawatomi to pay part of their bill.
Well, the Potawatomi, Denny has to have it, just like Waterman has to have it.
Well, both of them are looking for somebody to pay the bill then.
Yeah, they're looking for us to help.
Yep.
And I get it if 3 years from now, there's a subdivider that comes and wants to subdivide and we decide we want that, maybe then we'd need it, but
Then
I think the engineering study needs to study a little more than,
Right.
Pretty simple how that rolls.
Yep.
I guess that's the thing. Mark,
well,
is-
I guess I'd like to set up a meeting with whoever your contingent is in Zeke in our group. Whether Waterman's there or not, I don't know if that matters.
Oh, I think they gotta be there.
Don't matter to us.
It don't
They're
matter.
gonna be part of the,
It'd be nice to have
We're
all the
late to the
partners
game
there.
already, so it
You
doesn't
gotta
matter.
coordinate
Sounds like it's
But-
going on.
But I think,
It sounds like it's going without us.
It's
so.
going without us, so.
but I think like the real conversations between you guys and the Potawatomi about what the money's gonna be.
All right.
Yeah.
And if you're in, great. If you're not in, that's fine too. We'll be in the neighborhood in the future.
Well, yeah, you're
It
gonna
just,
be here.
it just might not be as great a deal in the future. None of us know that.
Yeah, we don't know.
Maybe it will be. Who knows?
We don't know what the price of the deal is.
Right. Exactly right. But if we don't ask and we don't figure these things out now, we'll never know.
I think would be your task, is to get something set up so we know how much did you say the engineering was, Richard?
Well, he's got 1.7,
1.7?
but he said it's 1.3.
It's 1 point, so we have an engineering contract with Baxter Minimum for 1.34 million that we're gonna move forward with.
And you said.
So that was a concept level.
Right, and you're saying the Potawatomi's already agreed to 49% of that. So they already agreed to half. So Waterman's already paying the other half. So it's paid for.
Yeah, if we're not in it, Waterman's gotta pay the other half. right?
Yeah.
Well, and if you aren't in it, we're not considering anything.
No, but what I'm
Village
saying
share
is,
is
if we
what
find out
half.
what's in the ground, that's our in. Because it already sounds like they're gonna pay the 1.3, 49, 51, whoever.
Well, what the engineering is now is to serve Waterman and the Potawatomi. Stop.
Oh, that's the 1.3.
That's the 1.34.
Stops at the Potawatomi.
Stops at the Potawatomi, because
Okay.
if Chev's not in, we're not gonna engineer anything until.
Right. So we find out what's in the ground going on.
Right, I mean, so figuring out what it would take to, serve Shabbona, figuring out what you guys have in the ground, is it useful? Those would be things this engineering study would figure out, or this design would figure out.
Well, unless I'm wrong, guys, that's on you to get some kind of a meeting set up.
Let's set up a meeting.
And see
So
where we go.
my schedule is incredibly open. I don't know about Zeke's, but like ideally for you folks, is next week too soon?
No, you've got a board meeting next week, the way
I got a board meeting on Wednesday, so my board meetings. I'll get charging orders from I'll update my board, I'll say, hey, this, Shabbona is still considering this, and they'll give me the
We're gonna-
latitude to,
We'll have to decide who's in. I'm free.
okay.
But
Getting
I'm
Zeke
not gonna
there,
do it by myself.
getting Zeke there is he's probably the toughest one to schedule,
Yeah.
so.
If Zeke wants the sewer, Zeke's gonna have to come around. That's the way I see it. He's gonna have to make it a priority if it is one. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're 100% right. He needs it.
So next week, you think, okay.
You let me know.
I'll let you know what I can find out in the next couple of days.
I'll find out which one of these guys is gonna help us.
Yeah, I think if you had 2 folks there, that'd probably be great.
Yep.
The fall under infrastructure and finance.
If you could find anything out
both.
about,
Is it, I see it. I see how you did that. It's both. Zero infrastructure.
and
You
then,
set the meeting up and I'll
No,
get,
he's
Okay.
infrastructure.
I'll get some,
yep.
I'll get 2 guys there, whether it's me or 2 of these other guys. We'll get,
Well,
We'll
we
get
could,
two
we
people
could remote people in if well, I guess we couldn't, we could only have 2. did not violate.
Either that or we'd have to publish it for
Right.
an open meeting. Or if we did it where William didn't know where we're at, we'd be all right. You set it up, I'll
Take
get,
minutes.
I'll,
I think four's a quorum, isn't it?
No, three.
Is it, are you
If
sure?
it was Frank and three of you guys,
Well, that'd be total of four,
oh, yeah, not Frank, yeah. So,
so 3 people.
we'll figure it out.
Okay.
You set the meeting up
Yep.
and we'll figure out.
yep, I'll try to get something that works for everybody.
Worded as the majority.
Alright, cool.
Thank you, sorry to chew up the
Thank
whole
you.
night,
Yeah,
sorry
as long
about
as you
the
wouldn't be able
fishing.
to pass.
Oh, yeah.
The fish will be there tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you all.
Thanks, Mark, nice to meet you.
Take care. If you guys have questions or whatever, you have my email, just ask
Well,
them
we'll-
when you,
You get the meeting set up and maybe we'll have some questions
Okay.
by then, so.
sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Well, that's what we got on the agenda, and we didn't add anything to the agenda, so
Meeting adjourned.
meeting's adjourned.
We didn't do public comment. Should we do that?
Have you got a comment?
Well, from the last time we heard about this water and sewer coming in, and I think it was at the high school that day, we were told that it wasn't gonna cost the residents anything, and it was either going to be free to us, or it was going to be lower than what our water bill is now. And from what he is just saying now,
No.
that's not the way it's working at all.
You're right. That's what we just heard also.
The rates that KWRD would be charging for sewer, the average person's bill in Shabbona would be roughly the same, I think. I'm gonna drill into the numbers and like
Okay.
get more or less exact numbers. The issue is we have to front a bunch of money.
Wow.
Yeah, which is gonna make our water bills go up.
Which is gonna make the water bills go up because then we're gonna have to pay for debt service. And that's
So-
gonna go on the water bills, so.
There's gonna be, yeah, there's gonna be an impact fee on this for everybody that's on city sewer if you go that route.
If they wanted to hook us up for free,
question real quick. I mean, I know I'm not technically supposed to speak, but since there's gonna be a tax levy to this, does that mean there's gotta be like a referendum or anything like that passed? Because how can you add a tax line or tax levy to the tax bill without a
It's a very
referendum?
good question, and I
Yeah.
think we'll
I
have
think
to.
that's
I
a
would think
question
there would
that
have
That's
to
a
be.
dominant
gotta
question.
ask the lawyer about it. I mean,
Yeah,
Because when he was talking about it, I was like, okay, that's the second time I've heard that. I'm like, so do we have to put it to a referendum, and how much money is that gonna cost us? And
Yeah,
so it was just something I was curious about.
you have to
So
vote
it
to
just-
become part of the tax.
it keeps
Right.
stacking the layers on.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I think it's something that I look at as far as the future of Shabbona, but at what expense? Because right now, we don't need it.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, has anybody told you or anybody else that works for the city that we, or the village, that we have problems with our, I'm sure that's gotta get inspected at least annually, right?
Oh, they do it monthly, they check the,
That's what we're
With the
paying the testing
discharges.
for, right?
that's, yeah, that's,
The $200 for testing.
So, has anybody come back and said we got bad foundations in our pond or anything critical we need to look at?
no,
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure the previous board didn't look at anything like that. They just,
No, they fell.
they were ready to buy this.
Correct.
no, and the horror stories that I've heard about not having pump motors, I mean, I would recommend to the board that we have an extra motor sitting in the pump house, or at least in this building. So if that motor goes out, guess what? You got a replacement that you can put on right away, and then you purchase another one to put back on the shelf.
Actually, the best thing I see about this is that they would take over the entire sewer system,
Yes,
and we wouldn't have anything to do with it.
yes.
And I was concerned about having to decommission the sewer ponds, but he said that was in Maldus deal.
That they did it.
Well, they're turning it into a pump house.
Just water. This one, he said they decommissioned because they put lift stations in.
That's,
So,
we gotta see how much, I think we have to see what the engineering is gonna cost us.
Well, I think, I was gonna ask him, but I figured we'll see what happens. I think they think our end is 400,000. Cause it's funny how it went from 1.7 to 1.3.
Yes, I do too, yeah.
So, you know, it's not hard math. They probably factor our evaluation or engineering at 400,000. Which, again, if we've got something in the ground, that's our end.
Well,
They're gonna do it anyway, and if we've got something that'll get us to the T, we say, well, you know, we're willing to consider this, we're not paying for a feasibility study. Or we're not paying for any engineering. We're done, we're already vested.
yeah, I think to that point, we gotta know that what we've got in the ground works.
Well, that's why I said, as long as we
That's
can
the
figure that
engineering
out.
part.
Add that into your feasibility study.
As long as we can figure out what's in the ground, I mean, if we can pull up schematics or diagrams or whatever, engineering from when it was put there,
Right.
we should be able to present it to them and say, what does this look like? Does this look good?
Yeah, I agree.
You
And
know?
anymore, they're lining those, even if they're older,
Yeah.
they put a liner in it
Yeah,
and expand it with epoxy. So the liner actually sticks to the existing wall. And those are like,
and they were talking about a
20 or
12 inch,
30 years.
and you're saying it's 24 inch.
That's what I've been told.
So, they can definitely put something in there and expand.
Yeah,
They could put new pipe inside the old pipe.
Exactly.
So,
So is, also, sorry, has anybody asked the Potawatomis what their future plan is for a casino?
they haven't talked to us.
I haven't, not a. as a
Well,
casino,
yeah,
but
we've talked to them.
yeah, but they haven't told us what their plan is.
So
No, their plan is to have, you know, gaming out there, but what kind of gaming, we
I
don't
heard in
know.
the next 5 years, their buildings will be built.
They're gonna build buildings, yeah.
In the next 5 years.
But, well, see, right now, the way it is, the federal legislation, the land currently is joint owned by the state of Illinois and the Potawatomi. It's owned by both of them. And it'll be that way until they get all of the things worked out, hopefully, you know, within the next 5, 6 years,
Okay,
then it'll be totally owned by the Potawatomi.
but here,
But there's this joint period of at least 5 years.
it's actually 7.
Well, I'm talking about the minimum of 5. See, it can go to 7, but it don't have to go to 7.
They still have contracts with everybody that's in the park for 7 more years.
Yeah, but it don't have to go to 7. They can go to 5, it can go to 4, they can go to whatever,
Not
they
from
can make
what
the
I-
agreement.
You're talking about the state park?
Yeah,
Yeah, anything this guy's talking about has
Has
nothing to do with the
with
state park.
state park.
This is all the 218 acres that they own on preserved
On the
road.
other side of the forest preserve.
That's where they're talking about breaking ground and doing, that's where they're already a done deal.
On the old Ward farm there is what they're talking about.
okay. Because that's where I heard that the hotel and the casino's going,
Right,
is on that 218
18
acres.
acres, right.
Yes.
So that's what he's talking about. That's a done deal with them already. They've
So-
already moved on.
Correct. So if they're building a hotel and now adding the casino,
Mhm.
that's going to bring in more waste.
But you're not gonna see that within that 5-year period. You're not gonna.
No, but the way, yeah, that's all, that has nothing to do with us. We're just talking about teeing where they're putting the pipe down going to water. That's why they want us to be part of this, even though we don't need it.
See, it depends
So
on what end
nothing's
of the
coming this
chain
way.
you're
This is
at.
all going to Waterman
Correct.
and then going to DeKalb.
If you're Kishwaukee College, you want Malt to be joined in, which makes your cost less. If those two want, you know, Sycamore and DeKalb, or not Sycamore, but DeKalb to join in, then their prices go down. And then
Yeah, the
then
more
group of
hands in
three,
the pocket,
if
you
they
know,
want
more people
Waterman
to
to
get on
join
there,
in,
the cheaper
then
it
the
is for
original 3
Waterman,
prices
it's on
go
the
down.
I guess I'm just
And if they
looking
want
at
us to
more
join, you
revenue.
know, the more they get to
They're gonna
join,
have
the
more
lower the
coming in.
prices get.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely gonna,
With the casino and with the hotel.
oh, yeah.
Plus, if the state still owns it, then why isn't the state involved in this?
They're tax exempt.
Yeah, they're gonna,
Well,
well,
I
the
don't
state's
think
gonna
state
be
owns it
collecting all
anymore.
the,
I think it finally went through.
Not from what Brad told me. Brad Fritz is,
Because, Pritzker was supposed to sign on it back in.
He didn't
however
sign it,
long
so that
ago.
means everybody
Right,
can
and-
get everything for free.
Right,
Yeah, You're not gonna see a casino out there.
He's treating,
You're not gonna see a big casino out there.
he actually messed up all the landowners that had the agreement on their property too. By
I
not
got a question
signing.
for you, Frank. Who controls Preserve Road? Is it the county or is it us?
Township.
The township?
why, what's wrong? I'm the township clerk, what's wrong?
Well, no, I'm just saying, is there a way that we can make it so you can't turn off of 30, that you have to go through town? Because I get enough morons going 60 miles an hour past my
Right.
house already.
Right,
yeah, high school kids.
If we can block that road so that, yeah, you can drive Preserve out,
right,
okay, but you can't come, because all the traffic's gonna be coming from 39. It's either that or we start putting in speed bumps, because I'm telling you, they fly by my house, 60
Oh.
miles an hour.
Well, see, the problem is,
Oh, I will.
the Potawatomi is gonna own to the center of Preserve Road
Right.
when they get the park.
No, he's talking about
No, I'm
off the
talking
30.
about, I'm talking off 30, past my house to Shabbona Road.
The township owns that to where Dan and Aaron live, and then it's the village. And then you go past the park, past the
Yeah.
golf course, and that's the township again.
Right. So as long as we have control of what's in front of, because I don't care if we put speed bump down or whatever, or if we can block them coming on off of 30 to drive past, because the amount of traffic that's gonna be coming down Preserve, plus we wanna push them through town anyway, if we're gonna have all these businesses and everything. I'd rather see people take 30 all the way through town, take advantage of all the businesses, and then have to go to the casino. Because what they're gonna do is they're gonna turn on Preserve and fly past my house, night and day.
I get it.
I think we should put a roundabout there with a big ramp.
oh God,
So
no.
if they take it past 40, they're gonna be airborne.
Do we know what the useful service life of our current sewer facilities are?
I do not know. I know we just, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we just cleaned all
It
the
just dredged
sludge
it.
out.
Yeah.
We de-sludged them and put new air compressors in and new piping.
Yeah, we just
So we
serviced all
should be
that
pretty good shape for, but I'm not an
Decades,
engineer, I can't tell
presumably.
you. We should
stuff.
be in
At
good
least 10
shape.
to 15, I think.
Yeah, because they're saying that if we were to modernize our facilities, that would cost us $12 million. So that's something that you're gonna take into account.
We gotta take that into
Not
account.
modernized, he's saying that they're not allowing you to do that with lagoons anymore. We'd have to build a whole new structure, a whole new area for $12 million.
Right,
So
yeah,
that's not modernizing ours, that's shutting ours down and building a new one.
The thing of it is, they're gonna sell you a bill of goods anyway
Right.
to get what they need. I mean, it's just like the proposal, it was on the front page of this. Where does it say, where they don't,
You can be done now, or
Yeah, all right.
just don't tell William or something.
anyway,
about-
basically it said that,
I'm
they're no longer allowed. Well, obviously they are, because ours is still being inspected, and it's still being
Right.
used. I mean, it's a
you
sales
can't build
pitch.
it or expand it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, Hinckley just did it. They just had to change their whole sewer plant around. It's where they were, but they had to rebuild it.
But in reality, Shabona's losing population. We're down 10% from 10
Yeah.
years ago.
I'm helping fix that. Bringing people in.
Alright.
now everybody's scared to
Yeah,
death
we're
too,
doing-
because they don't know what the Indians are gonna do and which way they're gonna,
We're adjourned.
you know.
Well, they don't know
Motion
themselves.
to adjourn.
Well, with zero transparency, it's like,
7:42. Or 7:52.
it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, have a good evening, everyone.
Yep,
Take care.
too.
I'll be in contact when we get a date for
Alright.
meeting with the Potawatomi.